Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 4, episode 6, and today we're going through transfer deadline day in January, looking for that one player that can change our season and finish off our promotion push before playing a massive top of the table clash against second place Lincoln. We've started on this screen to avoid any spoilers and so you can see that we've got a new deal. Another year in the bank, we're wanted by lots of clubs, but we're not worrying about that. This is a one club challenge. Secondly, I'm going to ask you to get your predictions in early. We have sold a player for a record transfer fee in this window and I'm going to ask you to guess who. But don't cheat, pause the video here, let me know who you think it is and then we'll carry on and let you know in a minute. To give you time to do that, we'll take you through our last few games. Our away form's been absolutely awful. It's continued to be poor. We just cannot win many games on the road. I think we've won 2 in 13 away, which isn't particularly good. But luckily, we've managed to keep our home form strong in the league. We've won our last 2 home games, although we did lose in the Checker Trade Trophy. So after that disappointing Yeovil defeat in the last episode, we drew 0-0 away at Fylde. They're in lower mid-table. We didn't look like scoring, which was a bit of a concern. As Elliot Lee continued his barren spell in front of goal, we continued to struggle on the road. We then lost at home to Oxford. We were playing a complete reserve side in this one. And if you're trying to get any clues, this was before the transfer happened, so you'll have no idea out of those 2 games if someone was missing. We then played at home to Accrington in the league, and it was absolutely huge for a number of reasons. One, we got back to winning ways after 3 games without a win. Secondly, Elliot Lee got his first goal for the club. And thirdly, Owen Jack continued to be brilliant. We won it 3-1, and we were comfortable throughout, especially once Elliot Lee gave us the lead again. However, we did follow that up with a defeat on the road to Northampton. They obviously beat us in the playoffs last year, and they're still a very good side. I don't know where they are in the league at the moment. They're 6th, so they're going to be up there again, and they deserve to be up there. They're a really good footballing team, and they absolutely dominated us in that game. We then won 4-0 at home against Bury in the last game. They're right down at the bottom. They're in the relegation places, and you can see why. Owen Jack scored, Broja got a brace, and Tom Walker rounded things off beautifully in stoppage time. So a good way to come into this game, but away from home against the next best team in the league, I fear that we're going to be struggling, continuing our poor form on the road. We are still top of the league remarkably. The gap has closed. Obviously Lincoln are level on points with us now. That's why this game's going to be so big. Maidstone are just 3 points behind. Don't forget they came up from the National League with us 2 seasons ago. So it'd be a remarkable achievement if both of us went up within 2 seasons. And then there's a 6-point gap back to Crewe, Notts County and Northampton, who are in the playoff places. 9 points behind us, so we're fairly secure, but we're always worried about those stars from our FIFA 19 career with Crewe. You can see on this screen Owen Jack's still the top scorer in the league. He's not the man who's gone for the record transfer. We're not letting him go even if we get 10 million. What a player he is. 25 in 30 and he's got 6 assists as well. So he's contributing exactly a goal a game, whether it be via a goal or assist. A wonderful player and he could take us all the way to the Premier League if he continues to develop at the rate he is. So I think that's enough time now. We're going to go to our inbox and take part in deadline day. We're looking for one signing because of a man we've sold. Not the one that was our record transfer, but we'll show you him anyway. Tom Howcroft's joining Livingston on a free at the end, probably because we've just farmed him out on loan and don't play a formation that suits him. But let's go to our transfer history. You're about to get your spoiler. It is Carl Roberts, our backup right back. We signed him in the summer from the Welsh Premier League. It was Cardiff Met Uni we got him for. We got him for nothing and Rangers have paid an upfront $800,000 for him, rising to 1.4 with a 50% sell-on clause. It is an absolutely brilliant deal and what's more, they loaned him back to us just after they signed him, so we've still got our backup right back for the rest of the season. Possibly the best bit of transfer business we've ever done and I can't imagine we'll be topping that anytime soon. The other one that went out of the club was Nick Freeman. We got a bit more money for him than we were expecting. 180,000 in the end, and you can see he's now only worth 115. So we obviously got a bit more than he was actually worth. He'd had a really poor season after a brilliant first year in the Football League. And in the end of the day, he just wasn't good enough. So we had to let him go. And he's the position we're trying to replace, as we've not been able to get a superstar in yet. The 2 signings we've made are obviously Carl Roberts back on loan from Rangers, none of his wages being paid, so we're gaining in that sense as well. And then Connor Davis, who is our Director of Football's answer to the right wing position. He's okay, he's very quick and can cross a ball, but he can't do much else. And I fear he's only rated 3-star because of those 2 attributes. So we are going to go to our director of football again and ask him if he can get us a right winger. We'll go and look firstly at the players who are on our scouted list. I have had a look already. There doesn't seem to be much there. There's one brilliantly rated player from Sheffield United, but again it's potential rather than current ability. 3-star at the moment, 5-star potential, and again he only wants to come on loan, which doesn't really help us. He's naturally an inverted winger who prefers to use his left foot. He cuts in from the right. It doesn't fit in with our style at all, so he's not going to be coming in. We had a look at Jack Stobbs, but he's not quite good enough, and Chris Maguire's getting on a bit too much. So let's go to our director of football and ask him, has he got any suggestions worth signing? We'll go for transfer first. Has to be a right midfielder on our 4. We're then going to go to loanees. We'll do exactly the same, and then we'll do the same for free agents, even though they're unlikely. I can already see some players we definitely won't be signing there who are either old or left-footed. There's no free agents available. You wouldn't expect that at this stage. So that Sheffield United kid has come up again then. Mingoya at Bolton under 23s. He's on £2,500 a week, which we can't afford. Kyle John is at Morecambe. He's a youngster. We might have a look at him. He could be a brilliant signing for us. And hopefully as it's deadline day, we'll get a quick scout report for him. He's only worth £7,500, but he's on loan from QPR, so that might drive up the fee. In terms of loanees, we've got Nathan Dyer and J. Emmanuel Thomas. We'll have a quick look at Dyer, just in case he's still good enough. I don't know that he is, to be honest. Mentally he's okay, but he doesn't naturally play on the right of a 4-man midfield here, so he might not be the ideal candidate. The other one is Labala, I think that is. He's a 24-year-old Congolese midfielder, and he looks a little bit better in there, actually. We might go for him. There's no harm in getting him on loan, especially if we can get the fee that we want, where we're not paying much of his wage. They only want 20%, £250 a week. For me, that's a gamble worth taking, and if he doesn't end up playing and's unhappy, we'll put him in the under 23s. But Carl John's the one we'll come back and look at, and we'll be back a bit later in the day, hopefully with some news of a right winger signing for the club. We're not planning any more sales, but we'll never say never if a club comes in with a silly offer again. Right, we're back with a few bits of news. Labala is coming in on loan. We're going to take him and see what he's like. We've had an offer for Alex Bass from Reading, and it is a pathetic offer. Less than $200,000 for an absolute superstar, and he will be going nowhere. He's one of the other ones, along with Owen Jack, who we won't sell at all. If we get promoted and then there's a big offer in the summer, we'll consider them, but we can't be doing it mid-season when we're on course for promotion. The financial and club reputation rewards are far too good, and we won't be risking it with a silly sale. The other bit of news, which is a little bit of a strange one really, we've got a few more scout reports to look at. Owen Teggart from Portsmouth is a 19-year-old midfielder, plays on the right but he's got a hip injury so it doesn't help. And we did get a report back for Kyle John. The unfortunate thing is, he's probably someone we would have signed. Again, he's quick, decent technically, but they want a lot of money for him, and we're not really in the business of paying $250,000 for a player. So he won't be coming in, and I think we're going to have to settle for the 2 we've got. If we can find a free agent or someone pops up during the day, then great, but if not, we'll manage with what we've got. So it should be a quiet deadline day from here, but we'll come back at the end of the day to round things off, just so you don't get a spoiler. We're back at 5 o'clock. We're starting to get tested now. We've made one more loan signing. Alex Bass, we're getting bigger and bigger offers for. We're up to $400,000 plus sell-on fees now. But we're still not giving in at this stage. We did manage to get another loan player in, more of a squad player for the rest of the season. Joe Rankin Costello from Blackburn. In a previous save I had off camera a couple of years ago, he became an absolute superstar, and I've got a bit of affinity to his name as a result. So he's come in, he can play in central midfield, either side of a midfield 4, either end of a midfield 5, behind the striker and up front. So he's someone who we can use as an experiment away from home. We could change to a 1-striker system and put him in behind and just see if it makes any difference. But if not, we've got another good squad option in many positions. So we're happy with that signing, and we'll be back in a second with the end of deadline day. There we go, the window is closed. We had one last test for Alex Bass, $550,000 plus add-ons, but if we look at him as a keeper, I know his rating and his value's poor, but his attributes are brilliant, and he's certainly a solid keeper even in League One, so we'll be keeping him here for the foreseeable future. The transfer window roundup, there's only one big story. In other windows it might have been the fact that Peterborough sold someone for 300 grand, but this was all about Carl Roberts. 800,000 rising to 1.4 plus a 50% sell on. What a ridiculous deal for a man who's played 10 professional games. 4 of those were off the bench as well. He's back here on loan for the season, so we'll make the most of him while he's here. You can see there the other names from our other series, the head coach, Shamal George. What a player he is, a great goalkeeper, and he's just joined us at Stevenage in our other save, so go and check that one out if you haven't seen it, as he's an absolute superstar there. And that leads us on to our last bit of news off the pitch. At Torquay, we've managed to get a new senior affiliate. Sunderland just weren't cutting it anymore. They were one division above, and we were only hanging on to it for Barley Mumba, so we've joined Liverpool instead. A Premier League side, they're a really good club and they have plenty of good young talent, so hopefully we'll be able to sign some players if need be. I'd imagine once we get up to League 1 next year, that'll be a little bit easier as we'll have a bigger reputation as well. But that's about it from transfer deadline day, and we'll be back in a moment with our big top of the table clash. It's first v second as we go away to Lincoln looking to rectify our form on the road. Right, it's game time, it's first v second, we're heavy underdogs despite being top of the league. Lincoln are at home, they're in good form and they've got everything in their favour. If we go to our team selection, we're sticking with a 4-4-2 for now, but I don't think it'll be long before we're forced back. We've got Clark and Shenton on the bench if we need it, but the lineup we've gone for today is Bass in goal, McCabe and Facey the fullbacks with Byrne and Davis in the middle, Walker and Clarkson are the wingers with Phillips and Westbrook in central midfield, and Jack and Broger continue up front, the only bright light of the team, whether we're home or away. Let's get into it, and fingers crossed for the first time this season we can win a league game as heavy underdogs. They're playing a 4-4-2 as well, they're fairly confident. Their left midfielder, is that Dion Donoghue? I tell you what, he featured in yesterday's head coach quite heavily as well. Another one that we tried to sign for Stevenage. Our director of football was all over that guy, but there was lots of twists and turns with that one. Let's get into this game. We're going to tell the lads just to go out there and try their best. We're underdogs, let's cause an upset. We're not going out with a positive mentality. We're going to drop back to standard. I don't know how quick their strikers are. We're going to try and pay a bit more attention to the opposition. They're a strong side, so we don't want to get caught out. They've got Jamie Saul, he's very quick. And they've got Walker as well. Who's he? Tyler Walker, he's fairly quick too. So what we're also going to do is drop back to last season's lines of engagement. A lower defensive line, a lower pressing line. And fingers crossed from there, we can get on and get a result. Let's kick off and see how we get on. Tyler Walker with the kick-off back to Kerr, the centre-half. Out to Haynes, the left-back, who comes over halfway unopposed. We're not going to be pressing as high now, so we have to get used to being out of possession again. Bostwick over the top, which Facey heads away. Clarkson down, and Westbrook's got it in the middle. Goes over the top to Broger. This would be a good start. He's in one-on-one, but it deflects off the centre-half, and it's away for a throw-in on the other side. I have no idea how the physics of that worked, but nevertheless, it's still 0-0, and now it's Lincoln coming forward with Bostwick. He finds free. Tyler Walker with a shot which is blocked, and Facey clears long, and it looks like they're overcommitting their fullbacks, which means Jack's in the box, goes past one, back to Broger, and with 2.5 minutes gone, we lead 1-0 away from home against second place Lincoln, and this is going to be such a crucial game in deciding promotion. If we can get up for the big games, hopefully we'll be alright. Phillips with a corner as we have another chance, headed away to the edge of the box, but only as far as Davis, the centre-half making a makeshift right winger at the moment. Westbrook out to Phillips, tries to find a man down the line, but Simpson clears and now Tyler Walker counters. Two very good sides, you can see early on, it's in 1-1, what a terrible bit of defending, and Saul had an unchallenged header in the box, it's into the top corner, and just like that we've conceded, and from our own corner as well. 1-1, two good attacking sides, but we're really disappointed with the way we let in that goal. They're coming forward again with Haynes, and I've got a feeling this is going to get them full of confidence. O'Neill to Bostwick. He likes a long shot occasionally, but he's gone back to O'Neill, who switches it to the right. Simpson's going to deliver. Deflects away. Walker gets it to Westbrook, and now it's long over the top. And Broger's in again this time. Finds Jack. He's unopposed. Good challenge by Kerr, the centre-half, and it's behind for a corner kick. It'll be an outswinger taken by Phillips, and can we get on the end of this one? Broger goes up, but he's nowhere near it again, and Tyler Walker can counter-attack. If we concede from two of our own corners, we really do need to be worried. But the highlight ends, and with 15 gone, it's 1-1. It's a goal kick for Lincoln. We've gone 10 minutes without a highlight, which is nice for us. We'd quite take a draw at the moment. But O'Neill finds Bostwick in the middle, and I'm very unlikely doubting that we'll be able to hang on for that. Free is coming down the middle to O'Neill. Simpson on the right for them, delivers to the back post. Donahue wins the header, gets another go, but Byrne blocks it again and it's cleared away. 30 minutes gone, and now it's Lincoln with a corner. Freer into Tyler Walker. It's headed away, but only as far as Freer again. His shot's blocked, as is Bostwick's, and it's out for a throw-in, but it's all a bit desperate for us at the back. Is a throw-in in a defensive position for Facey. He's thrown it straight to O'Neill in the penalty box. It's headed away luckily the first time, but Freer's got it again. And we're just causing all of our own problems at the moment. Getting over-committed from a corner, doing this, and it's going to be a goal, is it? Saul shoots, it's blocked 2 or 3 times, and O'Neill's away for a throw. Throwing the ball to them in the opposition area. We're just doing all the things you can't do at this level, and in a top-of-the-table clash, we're giving them too many chances. Tyler Walker coming forward again. It's certainly fair to say they're dominating the game now. O'Donoghue gets it into Walker. Now O'Neill goes for a shot, but that's high and wide, and we can deal with them comfortably. It's a goal kick from Bass. Goes long up towards the centre forward. We've got warnings to close people down, so we're going to go and do those quickly. Means we might not see the goal. But Jack's going forward on the right-hand side. He's got no one with him, but gets a cross in, and Simpson clears it away easily. And now Free is charging over halfway. It's like there's no midfield for either team. They're just charging straight through, and they're on the defence in no time. It's behind for a goal kick, and with 10 minutes to the break, it's 1-1. It's another chance for Lincoln now from the corner. Free has delivered it. Byrne heads away, but we're under so much pressure. O'Neill's shot's blocked. Kerr hits the post. How we're not behind, I don't know. They've had 20 shots now, but luckily we survive, and it's still 1-1, and we may go defensive at half-time. A throw on the right for Shea Facey. Manages to give it to one of his own players this time, but not at a great angle, so Jack can only head it back to Lincoln. Bostwick comes forward to O'Neill. Over halfway, they've got plenty of options. They've got time and space all over the pitch, and O'Neill and Bostwick are just playing their own game in the middle there. Goes back to Freer. Gets a great through ball, but Byrne heads away. Falls for Saul on the edge again, no, but it's just wide at a post, and it looks like we are going to go in level at the break, despite not deserving it at all. That is half-time then. It is still 1-1. I don't know how. We're going to say we appreciate their efforts, but we have to help out the defence. It's like we haven't got anyone there between midfield and the back four, despite having a low line of engagement. So let's bring on another option in there. We'll go for Connor Davis, who's a defensive right winger. He's going to come on for one of the strikers. I'm not sure which. I think probably Brozier, to be honest. We have to leave Owen Jack on. Clarkson will go in the middle, and we'll drop either Westbrook or Phillips back into the holding role. A 4-1-4-1, and this is all about getting a point. Westbrook's going to be a defensive midfielder on defend. We've got a couple of options later on if we need them. I don't know what Clarkson's best at. He's a Mazzala naturally. It doesn't really work here. So we're going to have him as an advanced playmaker on attack, just so we've got someone who can charge forward. Phillips stays on a deep lying role. Facey and McCabe, the two fullbacks, are going to go to defensive duties. We don't want to commit any men forward here, bar the midfield wingers, the central midfielder Clarkson, and the one striker in Jack. We want the other 6 to be behind the ball at all times. Jack will go on as a pressing forward on attack. It's something that he prefers anyway, and hopefully he can work hard for us. We're going to stay on a balanced mentality because we've got so many deep lying players that they can't get far up the pitch anyway. And fingers crossed in the second half, we'll be able to hold on. The one other thing we are going to do, time waste all the time, play for set pieces because we haven't got enough men in support, and we're also going to make sure that we slow the pace down when we win possession. Hopefully that'll be enough to nick us a point, and fingers crossed we can do just that. Westbrook gets the ball out from the kick-off to McCabe. He finds Clarkson, and now Phillips in the middle. Back to McCabe again, and we're already keeping possession, and now we've got a corner. Phillips delivers, Bostwick clears away, falls to Tom Walker, good effort at goal, but it's straight at the keeper, and it's easy enough. 1-1, but it's a bright start to the second half. We've got another attacking set piece, this time with Phillips. Headed in, the keeper came and didn't get there, and the sub Connor Davis scores. And what an inspired substitute that's looking like. We've gone to play for set pieces, we've had 2 already, and we've scored from one of them with the substitute. A wonderful start, and now we've got another one with Owen Jack. Goes for the shot, but it's straight at the keeper, and we're just under an hour gone. We're in the lead, and this second half we look like a completely different side. Donahue's got the ball on the left though, and we could regret our poor defending if they score from this one. O'Neill to Bostwick. Bostwick out to the right. Simpson's unopposed. Delivers for Saul, but it's an easy save for Bass. And with the hour gone, we do still lead. It's a throw in a defensive area for Lincoln on the left. O'Neill plays the 1-2 with Haynes, who can come away down the left now. He's got no pressure on him at all as we're so deep. Byrne doesn't win his challenge off Tyler Walker, and now it's back to O'Neill again. The shot's blocked though, it's gone back to Owen Jack. He's got Davis running off him on the right, and if there's one thing he can do, it's run. He finds Owen Jack, back to Clarkson. Clarkson's been really good in the middle of the pitch since he's gone in there, although we will switch to a defensive option if we need to. He goes for an ambitious shot from 30 yards, but it's just wide of the post. A quarter of the game to go, and this second half could be our new away tactic for the rest of the season. It's Lincoln with a corner though, freer into Bostwick. Facey heads it off the line, Jack hacks it away for a throw in, and with 15 to go, we're going to make another change or two. We'll go to the proper tactics screen so we can mess around if we need to. Clarkson's going to be the man sacrificed. We'll bring Shenton on for him as a box-to-box midfielder. In fact, we're going to do it as Jack Clark instead, just because he's got more match fitness and hopefully won't take time to get up to speed. Tom Walker on the left's not been great. We're going to think about replacing him with Conor McKendry. He's more of a natural winger. Hopefully can get forward and support Jack, leaving McCabe on his defensive duty to cover the defence. 15 minutes to go, and let's see if we can hang on for a remarkable result. We're into stoppage time, there's no highlights. We've got the attack now with Westbrook. He gets it to Phillips, comes back out from the long throw, and now we can build an attack. Phillips to Davis on the right. He's got Owen Jack on the edge of the box, touch and shot, but it's blocked easily, and now Lincoln can counter us. We've committed too many men forward, and it's Walker to Power. Power on the right with the cross, but it's blocked behind for a corner, and we're going to go to cautious before it's taken. Just 45 seconds left, and now we're going to drop to very defensive. Everyone behind the ball. We do not care about attacking now. The throw-in's taken from Donahue on the left. Freer flicks it on. Davis wins it back, just puts it behind for a corner. I feel like he could have cleared that there, but unfortunately he's just put it behind. If we can head this away, it's surely it. Jack does just that, and as Clark chases it down, we've managed to nick a brilliant away win. Our first win on the road since Crawley, and our second in about 12 games. A wonderful performance in the second half, and that new formation could change the way we play away from home forever. It's not the best to watch, but it's certainly effective. A brilliant result, and we restore a 3-point lead at the top of the league. No one saw that coming, certainly not me at half time. There's the confirmation then. Maidstone jump above Lincoln as they won as well. Who did they play against? Notts County away. Crewe won to stay in 4th place, but the other playoff sides are dropping away. So a few more wins and we could be looking at automatic promotion for sure. We'll quickly look at what was said about the game. We were very lucky based on the first half, but a tactical change at half time, and I can finally sing my own praises, because you can't tell me that that didn't make a difference in that half. The substitute with the winner, and we looked a completely solid outfit in the second period. If we go and look at the schedule quickly, we're going to try and do 2 more episodes from this season, but the next episode will definitely be that Stevenage game, as well as our youth intake, just our second at the club, and hopefully it'll be a lot more positive than last year's, now we've had a few facilities and coaching upgrades. But that will be all for this episode. If you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of our January work, and how surprised are you about the Carl Roberts sale, because I certainly was when we got that offer. Let me know where you think we'll finish. Maybe our title aspirations can continue after an away win. Have we finally found a formula on the road? Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content. The 2 long-term stories are back to normal now. Obviously this one with Torquay United will continue every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, and our other series, The Head Coach, every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday at 4:30 PM, as we work under a director of football there with no say in transfers or contracts. As we've mentioned a couple of times, we've just joined Stevenage in that one, so go back and check it out if you haven't already. There's also weekly content from our FIFA 19 lower league career with Crewe. And if you haven't seen it yet, go back and catch up with our Christmas FM19 challenge. We played a 5-part series with Newcastle United, and it was quite a bit of fun. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and we'll see you next time.